So you're ready to buy a home and are in the process of putting together all of the information on your journey to your next home. I'm Len Nevin with Loyalty Home Group at eXp Realty. And since 2003, I've been helping buyers just like you find that next perfect home. Now, today I want to discuss the contract and its importance. The process of buying a home involves several contracts and agreements that are essential for protecting the interests of both the buyers and the sellers. These legal documents outline the terms, conditions, and obligations of the parties involved. In this article, we'll explore some of the common contracts and agreements you'll encounter during the home buying process, providing you a better understanding of their roles and their significance. So let's first start with the purchase agreement. This is probably the one that you'll use the most. The purchase agreement, also known as the sales contract or the offer to purchase, is the cornerstone of any home sale. It outlines the terms and conditions of the sale, including the property description, the purchase price, the price that you've offered, and then once it's signed off, the price that you agreed on, the down payment that you're going to be putting in, the financing details, so what type of a loan that you're going to be doing. Are you doing VA, conventional FHA, any contingencies and financing, appraisal, any of that stuff. The closing date that you desire is going to be in this contract. How much are you putting down for earnest money? This is another piece in there. The contract also outlines seller's responsibilities inside the contract. So both the buyer and seller must agree to the terms before signing the purchase contract. Once it's signed, it serves as a legally binding contract pending fulfillment of any contingencies. So let's talk about the seller's disclosure. The seller's disclosure in many places are the seller is required to provide a disclosure form that outlines the known conditions of the property. This form typically covers things like known defects or issues with the property, past or current structural problems, the date they purchased the home, any environmental hazards that they know of, asbestos and lead paint, sometimes that'll be an additional disclosure, any pest infestations if they've had termites or anything of the such. You're going to want to see a history of property improvements or repairs on this form. Buyers should, you should really be reviewing this carefully just to make sure that you understand the home that you're purchasing and look for any red flags. The home inspection agreement is another section of the contract, or otherwise called as the due diligence. The home inspection agreement in a contract is between the buyer and a licensed home inspector. It specifies the scope of the home inspection, including areas to be inspected, foundation, roof, plumbing, inspection date and time, inspection fee. So sorry, this is a separate form that the inspector will give you. Limitations and exclusions that the inspection company gives you. Access to the property. How is the inspector going to access the property? After this inspection, the inspector provides a detailed report outlining the property's condition, including any defects or issues. And then that's sent over to you. Now let's talk about the mortgage loan agreement. This is between you and your lender. This agreement outlines the terms and conditions of the mortgage loan, including the loan amount. So the sales price minus your down payment, the interest rate that you guys have agreed on and locked in, the repayment schedule. So this is sometimes called the amortization schedule. What are your loan terms? That's going to be in there as well. Any escrow requirements for taxes, insurance, things of that such. Prepayment penalties, if that's applicable. Most loans these days don't have that, but you still want to read for that. It's absolutely crucial for buyers to thoroughly review and understand the terms of their mortgage loan agreement, as it will absolutely impact their financial obligations for years to come. Now let's look at the title insurance policy. This is a big one too. Title insurance protects the buyer and the lender from any defects or issues with the property's title. The title insurance policy details out the coverage amount that's being insured, the premium amount. So you'll see all those details in there. You're going to see the conditions and the exclusions of the insurance, the effective date, typically the day of closing. You'll see policy terms. You'll also see if there was any previous issues on the title. So buyers should review this policy and ensure it provides the necessary protection and coverage that you're looking for. This is a big one that's discussed a lot lately as well, is the closing disclosure. The closing disclosure is a detailed breakdown of all costs associated with a home purchase and financing. This used to be called your truth in lending statement. So it's going to include closing costs, the loan terms, the payment schedule. It's also going to include the escrow account details that you have set up. The loan estimate comparison is going to be in there as well. Buyers receive the closing disclosure at least 3 business days before the closing date, allowing them to review and compare it to the loan estimate provided early in the process. This will need to be signed immediately upon acceptance. Otherwise, it will absolutely delay your closing. So remember that when we get closer to the closing. In conclusion, understanding the various contracts and agreements involved in the home buying process is absolutely essential for a smooth and successful transaction. These legal documents protect the interests of both the buyers and the sellers and provide clarity of the terms and conditions of the sale. It's advisable to consult with your real estate attorney if you've hired one or agent to ensure that you will fully comprehend the implications of each contract and that your rights are protected throughout this process. Thank you again for watching, and if you have any questions on this topic, please reach out. You can reach me via phone, text, email. I'm available on all 3 of those. Thank you again for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.